Hey, and welcome back to Dan the Flavor Guy. Today, we're going to be making one heck of a sweet tweet. God, why can I never talk? Hey, and welcome back to Dan the Flavor Guy. Today, we're doing one heck of a sweet treat that is good for everyone. And what I mean by that is it's also diabetic friendly. It's not going to have any sugar, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to be using some simple ingredients that I'm going to show you here in just a second. So these simple ingredients you can see here, we're going to be making a strawberry ice cream cake. It will be amazing. The cool thing though is that it's also diabetic friendly. And what that means is no sugar added. So we have no sugar added ice cream, sugar-free cake, sugar-free jam. We're using strawberry with this one. Use any type of cooking oil. We're going to use avocado because it's also health friendly. And then your basic measuring cups. We're going to use a 10-inch springform pan. These are really nice when you go to make cheesecakes because you pop the spring, the form opens, lift it up, and you have this perfect circle. They look very nice. So let's get busy. So the first thing you want to do, turn on your oven to 325. I've already got that done. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the cake mix, follow the directions on the back, get it mixed up, and then get ready for the pan. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. See you in a few minutes. I know, you guys are probably like, what the heck? Sugar-free? Are you serious? Can that really taste good? And to be honest with you, I've found that the flavor difference isn't that much, or the taste difference isn't that much. Oven's ready, but back to what I was saying. So I highly recommend you give it a shot, see what happens. You might like it, and let's face it, we all probably could take a little bit of sugar out of our diet. All right, back to the recipe. So we followed the directions that were on the box. Cake is done. We're gonna set it aside. We're gonna prep our pan so we can make sure that the cake will release, because this dish is gonna go in the freezer. Now that we've sprayed our springform pan with non-stick cooking spray, we're going to throw the cake batter in, throw it in the oven for about 30 minutes, and wait for our next step. All right, on to step 2. We're going to take 3/4 of a cup of the jam. We're going to spread it on top of the cake. Then we're going to fill the pan with the ice cream to make the second layer. But this cake has a dome to it, so I want to go ahead. I'm going to flip the cake out. I'm going to cut that dome off so we have more room to put more ice cream, because hey, who doesn't like ice cream with their cake? So let's go ahead and do that now. So we got a bread knife. Bread knife's going to work best. We're just going to take just this top layer off. It has a nice little lip, so it should make this step pretty easy. Go ahead and run the knife through that top layer, like so. Cut all the way through. And there you go. So now we got a nice, about 1.5 inch layer of cake. We're going to put that back in the pan. Just like that. This cake, hey, you can sample it now. Let's go ahead and move it out of the way. All right, now it's time for the jam. I'm going to use a nice rubber spatula for this step. A little bit easier to spread the jam on top of the cake. We don't want to damage the cake. We don't want to smash the jam into the cake. You want to go ahead and let the ice cream sit out for just a little bit so it gets soft, so it's easier to spread into this pan. All right, we got the 3/4 cup of jam measured. We're going to spread that over the cake. We're going to save the rest of the jar for after we pull this out of the freezer. tilt it a little bit so you can see. We're just going to make the thin layer, spread it around the cake, like so. Try and get it nice and even. Next, we're going to slap on the ice cream. Alright, so you can see we got the jam on the cake now. We're going to put the ice cream on. You can use an ice cream scoop, but we want to keep this flat anyways. We're going to smooth it out to fit inside the pan before we throw it in the freezer. Scoop, if you use a scoop, it's just going to make big ice cream balls. We don't want the ice cream balls, we want this to lay pretty flat. So as you can see, just a spoon works great for that because you can skim layers of the ice cream right off. Another reason why we leave the ice cream out is so it softens up, so it makes it easier to spread over the top of this dessert. And skimming it off in thin layers, much easier to work with than it would be if you were just to do an ice cream scoop. You can see it's a little creamy, and that's because it's been setting out. Just want to even it out so we got the same amount of ice cream on top of the whole cake. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to put this in the freezer for 6 hours so it gets nice and firm. That way we can pop the mold off and the cake will be ready to go. Once we do that, we're going to take the rest of the jam, warm it up in the microwave just enough to where it won't melt the ice cream, and then we're going to pour it right on the top. Alright, now we're on to our last step. We've already warmed up our jam. We're going to stir it up. Then we're going to go ahead, release the ring. We're going to have to take, because the ice cream froze the ring together, a knife or a spatula and go ahead and just kind of trace around the side of the pie and the ring itself. Here we go. All right. So before we add the finishing touches of the jam, I'm going to be transporting this because it's Easter, and happy Easter to any of you guys, but this dessert can be for any holiday, it can be for any occasion, or just because. But I'm going to be transporting this inside of a cake container, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the bottom of it now. So now that we got the ring popped out, we have it ready to go. We're going to stir this jam up a little bit. I did warm it up in the microwave. You want to warm it up just enough to where it's barely room temperature, because we want it to be able to be easily poured but not melt our ice cream. And now I'm just going to gently spread it over the top for our final layer. Here it is, the strawberry ice cream cake. I hope you enjoy it. If you could, real quick before you go, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell notification so anything that I make comes straight to you. I appreciate you taking some of your busy time out of your day. Thank you. Hope you have an amazing day.